Nervous as we were as first-timers, we decided to float around from Whitehaven Beach to the shallow waters of Hill Inlet. It's narrow, winding, and definitely not for the faint-hearted. But the plan was simple: anchor up and scrub the hulls. What could possibly go wrong?
We are anchored here at Whitehaven Beach, and we're about to pull up anchor and head down to Hill Inlet, which is a shallow entry but very protected once you're in, into a little lagoon area. I'm just, as I speak, watching the plotter at the moment. There's another boat I can see that's going in the same route that I want to go, and just seeing if it's going to go over the top of the route that I've plotted. So far it is. We haven't gone in here before. We're both anxious, but it should be fine. It's a sandy bottom. There's a couple of things that we've gone over in the tender before, logs and things on the ground, but not many, and they're usually clearly visible. It's very clear water in there. So worst case scenario is there's one particular shallow patch when you've got to go across to get to the lagoon. If for some reason I find that we can't get in there or we touch bottom, we are on the incoming tide. By the time we get there, it'll be about an hour before the high tide. So worst possible case scenario, we get stuck, we wait a bit longer to lift off, and we either make a decision to keep going or turn around and back out the way we came in. I'd really like to get in there because it's a good opportunity to find a shallow patch tomorrow to clean the hulls, put it up on so it dries out completely, sit it on the sand, and then we can give the hulls a good scrub and the props that they really need at the moment. So fingers crossed it goes smoothly. It should. We'll take it slow and we'll see what happens. So this is the entrance to Hill Inlet, looking into the sun. You don't see much of what's in the water here. Actually, you don't see anything because the sun's in your eyes. But I've got this route marked on my chart plotter that I'm following, which will take us in and then turn us almost 180 degrees away from the sun. So the sun will be at our back, and then we might be able to see something. Got 1 metre under us, 0.9. 8. Okay, we're on the easy part at the moment. We just got down to 0.1 because presumably my route is a series of waypoints joined together with straight lines. I should have taken the curve a little bit more between two of them. We've got 1.8 metres under keel at the moment. .4, getting closer to the track now. And there's a little bit that juts out ahead, a few rocks there that are just washing in the surf. Starting to do a little turn here, and then I'm going to turn hard, almost 90 degrees to the left. I'm starting to do my turn. Now this could be the shallowest part coming up. I say that, we've been at 0.1. 0.2. 0.4, almost there. We've gone off the track, but I think we're going to make it. Famous last words. 0.5, turning right, 0.7, 1.1. 1.3, 20 to 5, so we're an hour before, 1.7. So we're sitting in 1.92 metres now, which is really good. This is a deep section. We haven't got far to go. I can see the little anchorage up ahead of us, a couple hundred metres, but still a couple of shallow bits to go. I think that's the hardest bit finished. Touch wood. We're going to continue on this line a little bit more before we start to veer left, and then we'll go over towards the beach. Still got 1.6 under us, 1.7. I think we've made it. So this is the anchorage directly in front of us here. There's a sandbank to the right and a few mangroves growing on it, and obviously the beach directly in front of us there. We're going to curve around to the right. Things are starting to open up a little bit for us now in terms of depth. We've got 1.6, 1.7. So I'm not convinced we've gone the deepest route, but it's deep enough. Lowest we got to was 0.1, 10 centimetres under the keel. Not ideal, but this is the point of coming in with an hour left in the tide. If going at this speed, we should be able to get off it. But if we couldn't for some reason, the tide in the last hour should lift us off, or assist us at least. I thought about 100 metres in front of us, just there. Yeah. That guy over there's got dagger boards, so he will sit much shallower. 1.2. 1. Maybe. 0.9. 0.8. 7. So if the range is, what did you say, 3 metres? At least it's nice and flat, fairly consistent along that edge there. Okay, so this is the spot, 2.4. I'm just going to go forward of this. I mean, we're going to swing either side of it with the tide, I suppose, but hang in for a beer. It's slow going, and as we said on the way here, we shouldn't be over anxious about this because we know that it's a nice soft sandy bottom. There's a couple of obstacles here and there. They didn't become apparent, which is good. It did get very close a few times, but we've still got another hour in the tide to come up. We've found a patch now where we're sitting with 2.5 metres, 2.6 metres under the keel, and it varies between about 2.2 and 2.6 on that anchor radius. So that should be fine, I think, but it's very calm. There's no wind here. So I've only got 20 metres of chain out to hold us. which should be fine, and the anchor alarm is there as well. So now I think we've earned a beer.
1,000,000% we've earned a beer. Well done us.
Well done us.
Well done, baby.
Thank you. Yes.
We're just out here in the tender, just double checking the depths so that when it comes time to leave, we got a definite path. We came out in the tender when we were crabbing and did some tracking just to make sure we had something to follow, and it was fine except for one spot where it was 0.1, which was a little puckery, but also coming into this anchorage area, it was really shallow, and you can see here why. It does bottom out, so we're just out this morning on the low to just to get a better sense of do we get it right on the tracking. Is that our best option, or is there a slight adjustment that we can make to try and make it easier for us? The high tide that we came in on is 20 centimetres higher than the high tide that we're going to go out on. So we don't have a lot of leeway when we were at a 0.1. So we're just going to have a bit of a squeeze and just double check ourselves so that hopefully there's less puckering on the way back out.
I still feel like the tracks that we made the other day are quite good in terms of depth. It's all quite shallow. Looking over there, it looks like we just cut straight across, which is not what we did.
We came in here specifically so that we could beach the boat. We haven't done that before, and the hulls do need a clean, so we thought this would be the ideal location to do that, where it's protected, it's an absolute sandy bottom, and so of all of the places to want to try beaching the boat, this feels like it. So it's a little nerve-wracking because we haven't done it, and you know, nobody wants to damage the boat, and but in this instance, you know, we should be fine. Although the current is running fairly hard on this low. But about lunchtime today, we think we'll be close to touching on the hulls, and we're just going to get out there and scrub like mad folk. And then we've got a really high tonight, but it's not till 8 o'clock, so we're contemplating whether we make a dash for it tonight and get out on the highest of the highs, or wait till it's a 2.66 tomorrow morning, which was the original plan to get back out. So we're just going to suck it and see. Howie's just out there walking it to double check things. We'll make a call.
I've just taken a significantly different, or plotted a different route for our way out, which is clearly deeper than what we came in on. We came across this sandbar on the way in. It got really shallow in the middle part there, and then opened up to the other side on the deep. But going down this way is going to be much better. Well, I say much better, it will be better. Should allow us deeper water all the way down to get across to that dark section near the rocks, quite close to the rocks, which will be fun in the dark. And then we'll get out. So it'll be interesting.
So this is forever going to be known as Pucker Corner. I think that when we came in, our line ended up going straight and it went over the top of this little point, which is what we should have done, is done the sea around it. So good to know, and feeling quite good that we've been able to come up and see that. We'll go much wider out to this side as we come in and take a deeper sea before coming down the channel.
A tip for young players: get ready early. Leave yourself plenty of time to get all this crap sorted out, put on. It just takes ages. We don't do it very often, so we're not exactly proficient at it. But anyway, we're ready to go. We've got our Air Buddy. It's a bit cool in the water, so we've got wetsuits on just with reef shoes, and we'll give it a scrub and see how we go.
I mean, completely out of my comfort zone. Everything you're told is to not put your boat onto the ground, and here we are on the ground. Unusual and different and weird, but interested to go through the process regardless. So we'll go cleaning.
Still going out.
Oh!
So we finished, and both freezing coming out of the water. So we're sitting here now with trackies and socks and cups of tea, trying to warm up again. But the boat got down to just kiss the sand underneath, which was fine. really it's not something we couldn't have done back where we were at Whitehaven using the AirBuddy. That's a brilliant device. We had expectations of drying the boat out completely, but we didn't end up doing that for a few different reasons. We had the opportunity this morning to go out and create a new route to get out of here. The next few days are going to be quite low, so we might take the opportunity to come out of here this afternoon right on sunset as the sun goes down, which again will be a little bit anxious about, but I think it's a better route than what we came in on, so we might have a bit more space to play with. We'll wait and see. But the cleaning went pretty well. The sail drives and the props were covered in barnacles and growth, as I expected, so they're nice and clean again, or as clean as I could get them. Had quite a few very large brim feeding off the shellfish as I was breaking them off. I'm a bit sorry I didn't have the spear gun there. The rest of the hull wasn't too bad. Right underneath the mini keels, Kim said there were some big barnacles sitting under there, but the vertical surfaces and the hull surface themselves was actually pretty good, but it all seemed to come off fairly well. And it took about, I don't know, 2 hours, but like I say, I think for managing stress levels, it's just as easy to do what we did there in a comfortable place at somewhere like Whitehaven that doesn't have the current that we had to deal with today, even though we did it at low tide coming into the low, so it was running, then it stopped, and then it started running the other way. You've got to contend with that a little bit. But all in all, pretty happy. Now it's just a case of trying to get out of here in one piece and not run aground or run into the rocks on the way out.
Navigating our way out now, using the track that we worked out this afternoon in the tender. So wish us luck. We're going out. We've got a bit more tide than we had yesterday coming in, so hopefully this all works out the way that it's supposed to. Here we go. Jason's hand steering to the chart that we plotted and trying to keep us as close to that line as possible. So far the lowest depth that we've had is 1.4, and that's through the reasonably shallow section through the middle. So we're just coming up towards the rocks where the deep water is. We've actually got to go reasonably close to that. But the middle section back here, our chart was bang on for that. A little bit of current still pushing us around, but sticking clear on it. The marker is this little beach here, and there's a couple of rocks that stick out to help define it. We go into here where the beach is and then make a sharp right where the channel picks up again. It's harrowing, but we've done it now in the late afternoon. It's just now 5:15, And on the tides, this is the best time to go. We think tomorrow the tides will get too low for us, so despite us headed straight for the rocks, it's the thing to do.
So the track to take is close to these rocks. This is the deepest part of the channel. Disconcerting because you're so close, and we've already had a close rock incident, so I'm trying hard not to PTSD. But this is where we need to be because out to the right is really shallow. So we've seen plenty of boats come through here on this, and in the tender today it clarified that this is where we need to be. So we've got 3.4 metres underneath us, and a little bit of hobby horsing at the minute.
Got a boat coming in?
No, I think he might be passing the front. There's a boat out here that we thought might be coming in, and it's possible that they could, because it's a pretty high tide here. But yeah, that's kind of puts your heart in your mouth a little bit when you're this close to rocks. But we're going at a sensible pace. There is a little bit of a rocky outcrop just here in front, and we know how far out that comes, and our track takes us to the right of that, even though it's dark. There's rocks underneath, but they're very deep. So that's the poop your pants part done. There's only one last poop your pants part, and that's just coming up here. There's a bit of a sea bend, a bit hard to see from this angle, but we'll see it as we go around the corner. Right, so just on this corner there's a edge of the sandbank coming right out, and we need to do like a sea bend around that way. My finger's not showing it well, that way, to bypass that. And what we did the other day was we kind of just cut across it in a straight line rather than doing a C. So we should be right tonight. And it looks like we've got a playmate who wants to come in. And it kind of makes sense that they would do it at this time because of the way that the tide is a really good high tide versus the ones tomorrow. So if they're in for a couple of days, this would be the day to come in. But we're kind of pleased to be out. We're a 1.3 metre draft, so getting back out in the next few days we thought might have been a little more tricky. So happy to come back out now. And the hulls are so clean and tidy and fabulous that it was worthwhile. But I feel like I'm really glad we did it, and I'm glad that we went through it.
Well, we're glad it's over.
I'm really glad it's over. And it was, look, it was actually great to be able to clean the hulls like that, but you could do that in a shallow section anywhere. I felt like, and it didn't really beach properly, and the plan was that we would take it somewhere to beach, but we had a good chat in the afternoon and just went, you know what, let's not put ourselves in that situation. We don't need to. We could clean the hulls where we are, which we did, and now we're going to get back out and sit over at Whitehaven Beach and have a beer and just not have to worry about sitting on the bottom and getting out of somewhere that might be too shallow. So fun adventure, happy that it's done.